Okay.
Cool.
So I
Synchronous.
actually, guys, I didn't because last time I couldn't like I was like, oh, I don't know what my topic's gonna be and everything. Cause like I don't know, y'all were talking about like work experience, and I'm like, I don't really have much of that. Well, I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby, guys.
Of course. We got to start.
So so I was like, oh, like I don't know. I've I've been to Catholic school like all my life, like as a teeny tot, and like all of that, till not now,
Well,
obviously, but
yeah. That'd be great if you
so
were in Delgado and a Catholic school at the same time and be like, that's determination.
they do. I don't know. I don't know. I was talking with like an art teacher at Cabrini, and they were talking about doing something with Delgado, and I was like, that's good for them. That's good for them. But I made up, excuse me, I made my topic. It's like, like Catholic school, like stereotypes, because I feel like that's something I can talk about because
Yes.
I'm in those categories.
That's the best way
So
to
we
do
have three
it.
cat, yeah, because like, I feel like if I were to say these out loud, people would be like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
So we have super Catholics that are like, Jesus, praise Jesus. He's the only one. And then we have habitual Catholics, which are they're in the middle. They're there are atheists in Catholic school, guys. It's not a myth. It really is not a myth. And then they're just, I don't know, they're people. I'm an habitual Catholic. I'm not gonna openly talk about like my faith out loud because like you'll get side-eyed like real fast if you talk about it like out loud because people are like, oh, it's another one. Don't
I
do
know what you
that.
mean.
And then my third category is the scholarship students, which is like the academic people and the sports people that get recruited to come to the school and everything. And
Um,
like they're held to a higher standard than like everyone else. And like by the teacher's standard, no. My friend was one of those people, and like all the time. She gets comments all the time from teachers being like, yeah, like, I hear you're struggling in this class. And I'm just like, why would you say that to someone? Because if they get that taken away. So let me like, let me like pull up my paper because I
yeah, for
have to,
sure.
I have to, I'm not gonna like screen share it on here because it's like absolutely doo-doo. It's in despair right now.
But mine
So,
is like I wrote mine down. I like to do mine on paper and then transcribe it. Like that
okay.
seems to be my best process.
So these are like these paragraphs are not in like order. I have to reorganize, but since I'm talking about the scholarship people, so they're recruited by they were scouted for the school for academic or sport recruitment. So when you get when you get recruited, I know this is how it is for Cabrini. I don't know how it is for like other Catholic schools because the archdiocese, oh, don't even get me started about the archdiocese laws. They're crazy. Like
I had
it,
cousins that went to the school. Like one of my cousins went to Mount Carmel, and then her sister went to Dominican, and so I heard a lot of things with them. And then I think from there they grew up going to like St. Robert and Chalmette, where that was like a little Catholic thing too. I was in Catholic school for like 2 years for kindergarten and first grade, so I didn't get much experience. I got thrown straight into public school after that, but
you got a little crumb, a
just
little
a
bread,
little bit.
a
I
little
just
crumb.
just tasted it a little
So
bit.
I think because in eighth, because you obviously when you like Cabrini is a 5 year, you're obviously gonna like lose some of the people because like my graduating class was like 73. That's really small.
Wow,
It's really small.
that
So you get
is.
close with everyone. So
Hmm.
my friend is one of the scholarship people. I do know sports people because I did do sports, but I wasn't like main like D1 like those people.
Yeah.
She got a scholarship that paid for her entire tuition, paid for her, oh,
Oh, look
hey
at that.
guys, hey guys. I didn't know they do it on here. That's crazy. Paid for her tuition, paid for her uniforms. Yeah, yeah.
I
They
love that.
understand me. It paid it paid for like the base level of the lunch program because there's like levels to the lunch program, like how much
Mhm.
and it paid for like the standard, I guess. And then it also it when she gets so if sh when she's applying for when she applied to college and everything, they she was I think she was one of the first people that they made priority. Like they had to get her letters written like because when you so when I'm just gonna like talk about like when I had to apply to college, like I knew I was going to community college, but I still had to get a recommendation letter because I was
Right.
like, because that's what they taught us. They're like, you have to go to a teacher. You gotta convince them.
Oh yeah.
So when I had to wait a month to get mine.
A
When it was
month.
when it was her, they already had hers pre-written and sent like the dean
Mm.
like the dean of the school like personally like wrote her letter, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow.
So
That must be nice.
I mean she graduated valedictorian for a reason, so like
I get that. It's funny. It's funny. Even when I was starting over here, as a matter of fact, when I started this most recent semester, I actually wrote a recommendation letter for my friend trying to get into cosmetology school. That felt really good. That was my first time someone asked me to write a recommendation letter for them. I'm like, am I really at that phase in my life? Now I'm just writing letters for people. That felt good.
my dogs are crying. We're taking them with them, and I'm talking while I'm walking. So basically, hi
That's funny.
guys. This is a house tour, by the way. You didn't know that? It's a house tour.
Welcome to
So
Natalie's
I know.
house.
Why are you crying? You want to go outside? That's fine. So basically, like, like they did this to also athletes and everything. So they had D1, not D1, they had scouts at like all games too, which
Mhm.
like I guess when you're like a regular person, you don't really see that side. You're like, oh, these people are just like parents, their family watching the game. No, no, because after I got on a sports team, my coach would be like, okay, that's where the scouter is. I was like, what? What? What are you talking about? Because that's how my friend she got recruited to go on like Southeastern's cheer team. I didn't realize that. Like they don't tell like the regular people that.
Yeah.
So those people are like they're held to an entirely different standard than everyone else. Like the teachers like they just say all this to them and I'm just like that's so much pressure for a kid because also with the scholarship people like with their tuition being paid, it's most likely a low income family like that. Like I know people that are like, if I get my scholarship taken away, I'm not coming. Like I can't stay here. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like why? Because I was so, I guess because I didn't have to like fight for my stay to stay at like my Catholic school. It like I was like, whoa, that's like a lot like to hold and everything. Like, how are you
It's something new
doing?
to process because I mean, yeah, I know these schools are like pretty pricey. So like I hear
No, the tuition gets raised like every year. Like
yeah. I mean, keep in mind, I cater to a lot of these moms in the salon, and like since I work for a high-end salon, like it's most of these moms that they're just like, oh, my daughter's at Mount Carmel and Cabrini and this and that. I actually think I do the hair for the principal at I think Ursulines. So like I get a lot of these people,
It,
and I
it's
hear about it. It's just the experience is so surprising,
it's like thousands of dollars and like it's crazy and I'm
Wild.
super grateful that my dad provided me for that way because
Yeah.
he went to Catholic school and he wanted me to experience that's the only reason my mom wanted me to go to public school. And my dad was like, she's already been to Catholic school since she's a baby. Why are you wanting her to switch? My dad was like, because the whole because I don't know what the whole thing was. My parents aren't together, guys. Let's be real right now.
Same. Actually, I think it's so funny. My parents, if I found out my parents were gonna try to get back together, I'm probably gonna be the first person to actively stop it. I'm like, y'all do not belong with each other. Like all these kids like want their parents to get back together. I'm like, not mine. They do not belong with each other.
I love my stepmom. I wouldn't trade her for the world. We love
Oh
her.
yeah.
She's great.
Oh
But
well.
it was something like my mom wanted me to go to Grace King, and my dad was like, she's been to Catholic school all her life. Why are you just gonna get her off her routine and everything?
Yeah, no. I
And
mean
he's
that
like,
far in, that would be weird.
it's fine. We're getting off track. All right, guys. So there's the
Okay.
scholarships people. And
Yeah,
then
do you have a part of it that you want to like read out loud? Do you have like your paragraph about them written or do you have an intro written? Something
I
just
do
kind of like get a little taste. I want a tease of what you got written down so far.
okay. I'm just gonna read the little paragraph. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to rewrite I need an opening sentence for this, but I went to the writing lab and my instructor told me to do that. I was like, I know, I will, and I have to add more to it.
I
So
literally
these
only have an opening paragraph in mine. I have no body, no nothing. I have sentences for each of them, but nothing else after that. I just decided last night at like midnight what I want my overall theme to like, how I want it to come together. So
It's
I'm really
fine,
not that far
guys.
ahead.
It'll be done by Monday. That's all that
It
matters.
will. I am writing in between clients today. Like I'm gonna do whatever I need to do.
So these people are scouted by the school for academic or sport recruitment. To get scouted by the school, it's a big deal enough, but having to keep up with your scholarship is even more difficult. Because now with keeping up with your scholarship, if another student starts to go after it, the teachers will like to put pressure on you saying that you must work harder to keep your place, which they actually do. Keeping a scholarship at a Catholic school is a big deal. Most of the scholarships they offer cover the tuition. Low income families are offered these opportunities so that their children can experience Catholic school. But if they don't continue to keep up with their grades, work hard in their sport, they give these kids a warning. Because if they take this away from them, most likely their families can't afford to keep them in. So the added pressures from the teachers isn't a benefit. That's all I have written down for the scholarship people, but
Right, yeah. Ooh, that's I get that. That's almost messed up that they like push the low income. It's almost like they're targeted almost.
yeah, but I understand. How do I sound like not a dick, but
No, I
you
know
know,
what you mean. I know what you mean though. It's like of course like I mean everyone else is like
like
paying a lot to be there and they're not paying.
they're put into like a risky situation. Like if we send you here, like you have to fight for your stay. Like you can't
Yeah.
mess around with that.
No, I hear that. And I mean, look, if that was me in that situation, you better believe I'd be showing myself. You know what I mean? I'm gonna work to get what I know we can't afford to do, So I totally get that. Like, I'm definitely a pay my way type of person. Like, I'm not trying to shortcut or get handouts for things or anything like that. But if someone does something like that for me, then like, absolutely, I'm gonna do something to make it up,
Hmm. So this is my super Catholic paragraph. You know those girls that say modest is hottest? Well, imagine having to grow up with a bunch of girls with the same unchanging opinion. It gets
Uh,
annoying and you can't argue with them because then they start to throw Bible quotes at you. I was actually throwing a Bible quote at me, but that's a different time.
Um,
They
this
blindly What?
is it that that stuff makes me cringe. I had that
Eh,
at my public school in Mississippi. Like honestly, it was really just a constant battle between the Baptists and the Pentecostals. Like and we'd be in the middle of class and one of them talks about something from the Bible and one of them's like, whips out this thick Bible study binder and they start going at it. And I'm just like, I'm trying to learn about chemistry right now. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but like y'all just
no,
took up all my classroom.
I think the biggest issue starting an argument with like one of these girls, like here's my thing. I haven't had like bad experiences, but like when the whole abortion like laws like they got taken away and everything, I remember one of these girls got punched by somebody else because they're like, oh, thank gosh, this got taken away. Like that's like because abortion's like horrible and everything. So this other girl went up to her and punched her in front of everyone, which I'm like, because like I think everyone was just tense at the time. Because like Catholic school, we don't have a proper sex education class. Like I was not, like I had to find out about like birth control and everything. So like
Yeah. I
it's a
hear
hard.
that. I feel like, I mean, I think that's one sort of downfall from private institutions too, is like they kind of get to cherry pick the things they want to educate their students about, you know?
It's not even like it's just like, oh, you have to abstain until marriage and everything. But like let's be realistic. Most of us are not going to do that. So why don't you
Of
teach us
course.
like valuable, like,
Right. They're teaching ideals and not so much like ways to actually protect your health, Like, and
yeah,
it's things like that that are a little bit like striking to me, Not to like get too deep into
no.
the institution of,
The Catholic institution is not perfect, guys. Let's be honest.
No, by far,
It,
nothing is,
yeah,
but you know, there's a couple things that I feel like should absolutely, I guess they should pay more attention to, like I have nothing against
yeah.
anybody's faiths, religions, things like that. I was raised a Catholic, and I'm not necessarily practicing anymore, but I mean, there's just a lot of things that I agree with, a lot of things I really don't. So,
Me and my family like to say we're like Catholics. We like to dip our toes every once in a while, but
oh
like
yeah.
we're not like super active. But
Oh yeah. I'm kind of like
back
that
to
with
my
everybody's religions. I've
yeah.
realized that like everybody believes in something for a reason. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll go see what your thing's about. Like I'll go to your like temple or I'll go visit your new moon ritual. And if you want me to go to your church, I'll go visit
Like
your church.
the thing with like these super Catholics, like they're some of the nicest girls are in there, but they're also the most judgmental because
Yes.
like I guess I can relate to all three of these like categories in a way because my parents wanted me to get confirmed, so I was one of the communion ministers like my junior and senior year. So I got close with all these like super Catholic girls. I was on student council, so I had to like talk to everyone in my grade. I was
Yeah.
on I did cheer while I was on Cabrini. So I had to go to all the sports games and I found out about like recruiters and scouts and I was like, whoa. So I kind of had a way to I had to talk about this in my paper some more because when I was talking about this with my writing instructor, she's like you're an interloper because you have experience with all three of these somewhat. I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like you should talk about that. That's important.
Mhm.
So that's what I need to do.
Exactly.
You
And
want
I
to talk
think
about your paper? Is
yeah.
that
I know we don't have too much time left to do it. I'll just but yeah, of course I did finally decide to do mine over the types of clients in a salon.
okay,
Um,
okay.
which is great. I've kind of narrowed it down to like your sort of snooty kind of beehole clients, the ones that are just never pleased with anything. And then the ones after that, I decided to go kind of the opposite and you get just your wild, crazy, inconsistent ones, the ones that are like always showing up late, half the time they cut their own hair and they just want you to fix it and things like that. And then of course my last ones are the loyalists, which are the regulars, and they're sort of this healthy combination of the first two, where
Mm,
you could talk about crazy things with them and stuff, but like y'all have that understood relationship, but they also come in with a clear direction of what they want, like how they like it done and everything, but they're still open to your suggestions and they're like honestly whatever you think is best, but I don't like this. I do like this. You did this great last time. I would do this next time. So they're very clear, direct, and the relationship's just good, and they're always understanding. And I plan on writing it in the style of like it's gonna be like sort of me going into the salon and like
mhm.
getting everything open, and then each of these types of clients checks in back to back. So it's like
That's cool.
so I think it's going to be really fun. And yesterday, because I've been struggling with how I want to name them, like the names I want to come up with
Mhm.
for each type of client. And so I was when I was writing, because I just wrote my intro paragraph last night, I said, and I
Okay.
was just like, I need to get this down. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to set it. I think I want to relate it all to like theater because I'll even mention it here. If anything, I'll do it. I did have to swap around a sentence. I don't know what my brain was doing last night, but let me read this to you. So, uh, each day in the salon world is different and unpredictable, and the types of clients that come in will undoubtedly dictate the day's overall tone. The beams emitted from the studio lights refract to light up every inch of the salon floor, ushering in the start of the new day. Rosemary, clove, and mint permeate the air from candles and essential oils that soothe and relax those of us preparing to set the stage for us and our clients. Once the stage is set with perfectly shelved shampoos and hair products, meticulously cleaned stations and shampoo bowls, and neatly folded warm towels and linens, we anxiously await the arrival of our first guest, reserved for the premiere of the day's spectacle of relaxation and beauty. I was taught that each salon chair is a 5 by 5 stage where stylists enact the most immersive performance a guest could ever experience, making each guest, hopefully, feel fabulous both inside and out by the end of their service. It is worth noting that just about everyone in the world needs to get their hair done, so the types of people that come into a salon are vast. However, such a uniquely intimate setting like a salon attracts three noteworthy characters that stand out the most in my experience. And that's when I start getting into client number one.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm sorry. That was like really, I really like the way you like wrote that and everything. That was just like that was a really good opening. Like you obviously have to like introduce like your three like body paragraphs, but like
Oh
I
yeah.
think that was a beautiful analogy. Like when you started talking about like the candle scents, I was like, oh,
I
oh,
know
I kind
that's
of
exactly. I did that on purpose too. The writing coach said she looked at the outline. She's like, I like that. She's like, when I think of salons, you really need to make the reading immersive. She's like, you need to be very sensory with it. Talk about like what like your clients smell like, what like the feelings you get, like what things sound like or feel like, the touch of things. She's like, be very sensory with stuff like that because when it comes to salons, things are very sensory. There's a lot of touch and smells and things like that that go on. So I wanted to kind of put that into this piece as well. So I
no,
wanted to
like
talk
when
about the candles.
no, like when I no, because the the girl that does like my hair and everything, it's at her house and everything, but she has her little like hair studio and everything.
Yeah, we just got one in
She
our living room.
she um she has a candle wall and she makes you pick a candle to light the whole thing. So I try to pick like a different candle every time because I'm
I
just
love
like,
that. So many good ones. I've even started, I actually work right next door to a Bath and Body Works, so I go in there very often and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get like 6 candles today.
there's a sale going on, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's a like a
I can
I'm
believe it. I'm gonna look for the line wrapped around the mall. It is unbelievable how many people wait in that line. But I don't know.
if
That's
there's a sale,
You
I'll
might see me there. If I say I'm the salon 2 doors down, so. But yeah, I really want to make this essay a big like a sensory type thing or whatever. I get very descriptive, you know. So I'm feeling good with what I got so far.
It's beautifully written. I don't think you should change like one thing about it. I think
You.
it's great.
Yay, perfect. So I think I'm gonna do each of my topics, each of my characters, I guess. I'm gonna
Mhm.
do that. I'm gonna basically come up with clever names for them because I love wordplay, so it's like I want to come up with names for them based off of like a theater setting, you know, like sort of my like I don't know, like sort of like that first
The
one, even
house,
though
the housewives, what do they get? Their full highlights and everything. Their
pretty
platinum.
much. Yeah, the oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly those people. I might even just call them like harsh critics. I want to relate them to something to the theater since this is my stage. So
Hmm.
I think that would be a good idea. You know, you get like your harsh critics
Hmm.
and I don't know, I don't know what I would call maybe my wild ones will just be the jesters or something. I don't know, something crazy. I feel like they
Yeah.
should be named something. I think I want to keep the theme of like the stage and the theater and performance, you know, because that's kind of what it is. It's performance art that we do.
Theater-esque. Hmm.
Hmm. But thank you. I appreciate your feedback for my intro. I feel like I'm gonna be on a good path then.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know if you want to like, I mean, you're gonna have to like do like a stereotype with like each paragraph and everything. So,
I got little like mannerisms that all of them do. I'm trying to write this without having to call out specifically any of my clients, you know, because I don't want someone coming
no,
back.
obviously, because like,
Mhm.
I
But I
don't
do want to
know.
mention things of note, you know, like little things. Like I've you know, like whenever I'm talking about crazy things with one of my regulars, I notice that they'll like shift their eyes to see if anyone else is listening. And I love watching that because it's like we get so comfortable with each other. We talk about all kinds of wild things that they're just like,
I
oh my gosh, I
mean,
forgot there's other
I
people
mean,
here.
like a small thing with like scent and everything. Like everyone, I don't care if people want to be like, I don't do this. Everyone has a signature scent. Everyone has like you can even talk about like makeup too, because like I know when I go to a salon and everything, I'm going full bare face because I'm just like because I'm
Uh,
probably because I fall asleep in the chair. Like I've fallen
I get
asleep
some
like
people
so.
that do that. I love it. That's like a next level of
And
trust
if
when
you're no, if even if you're washing or drying my hair, like she's she's telling me, she's like, Nat, wake up. What are you doing? I was like, I don't know. I was it getting your hair done in a salon is a surreal experience. It's so soothing, it's so therapeutic, I
it
think.
is. I lean into that too. I know that that's why people are there. One of my regulars came in a couple days ago and she was just like, I need my hair trimmed, but mostly, Sean, I really needed my therapy session with you because I have so much crazy stuff to talk to you about. And I'm like, let me have it. I'm like, and she knows I'm here for it. She knows she's like, I know I could just come to you with all my drama and like, you're good with that. I'm like, yeah, I
Because
love
here's the because the like the thing is like it's like customer wait, what's the word?
confidentiality.
Yes.
Sort of. I mean,
That
not really. I am not legally bound to not share your business, but I don't have to. I probably will go vet to one of my other clients if it's like bad enough or something crazy happens. They'd be like, girl, you never believe what this client just did. Like, we're not really legally bound to keep your secrets,
no,
but
the thing with
I'm a
like my
good
hairstyle,
stylist, you
no,
know?
the thing with like my hairstylist is she's like a family friend. So like if I tell her stuff about my family,
So she's kind
she,
of,
but it's all right. It's all right. She has her own little crazy life too. So I'm not
oh
very
yeah.
surprised.
Really, I
She,
can't judge because I'm crazy too. That's why it's like I like to be a safe place for people because I know
mm,
that, I mean, especially since this pandemic, everyone has so much stuff going on with them. Like half the things that these clients tell me about, they leave and I'm just like, that person is definitely not speaking to a professional. Like I'm pretty much the professional they go
mental
to.
mental health is important, guys.
It
if you
is.
have the ability to talk to someone about it, go do it. It's okay.
And a stylist is okay to go to. We're here for that.
Yeah.
We're used to it now.
We're
But
not
with that being
certified.
said, Oh yeah.
I'm not a certified therapist, but I'm like 1/4 of the way there, you know?
Oh yeah, I advertise myself as an uncertified therapist, but ironically, I'm in school now to get into psychology. So I
That's
realize that
exciting.
oh yeah, I
I didn't
realize I'm
realize,
so good at it. I'm like, I should really get the certification.
like, just in case, you know?
Oh yeah. Cool. So I think we've covered all the hitting points. So I guess we can stop recording now.
Alrighty, guys, let's go work hard on our papers.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we're gonna go do.